which Ikwo is going to handle personal discovery for women in leadership. Of course, there's a recognition award, and we have all the awardees here who are juggernauts, or ladies, leaders in the printing and promotional materials, industry, the entire printing space. These are women who have done distinguishedly, distinguished themselves, and this company, on behalf of DCS Integrated Media Ltd, and the MD, who is unavoidably absent, Mr. Tunde Obohai, has thought that it was very necessary to recognize these fantastic ladies. They are all in. Shall we just celebrate these women? Let's just put our hands together and celebrate them. Thank you, well done, well done. I was listening to someone in a program over the weekend, it's an international program, and they were talking to the power of SMEs. Nigeria, the GDP is currently being contributed, we have a contribution of about 50% by SMEs. We have 25 million SMEs in Nigeria as we speak. And the challenge, as put up in that program, was that funding is a big issue for SMEs in Nigeria. Working capital you may get funded, and the interest rates are really killing very steep, but startup fund is very difficult. In essence, I'm saying that if you're an SME or people in business, we're actually reflecting the economy and doing a lot. And we really need to pat ourselves on the back and celebrate ourselves. One more time, there are many SMEs here in the room as well. Would you please celebrate yourself for all of those adding value to the Nigerian economy? Thank you, well done, thank you. Yes, I must also note that in the room today are many other women, distinguished actually, very senior top leadership positions in many organizations across industries. I can't just mention their names. And I hope you're networking from FMCG to technology industry to media to marketing comes to across. They are all around. Would you please celebrate yourself again one more time? And I hope we're networking. When women come together, one of the things we should do is network, because women help women, and we do that well these days. Thank you for being a woman, and thank you for adding value. Without much ado, I'd like to bring up now someone to represent the CEO and the Managing Director of DCS Integrated Media Ltd, who are the people whose initiative we're running today, to give us a welcome address. And I'll quickly call on someone, a representative, and that must be Nora. Nora, let's just celebrate this lady. Thank you. Let's celebrate Nora, who's representing Mr. Tunde Obohai, who is absent today. Thank you, Nora.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, ladies. I'd like to welcome everybody to this special program dedicated to celebrate women who have done very well in our industry, the printing industry and promotional products sector. I'm reading this welcome address on behalf of MD CEO, Mr. Tunde Obohai, who is unavoidably absent. I'm taking the welcome address. Welcome, everybody. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with gratitude and great honor that I welcome everyone to the maiden edition of the Inspire to Inspire Why She Leads conference, with the theme Personal Discovery in Leadership for Women, for the presentation of Special Inspire to Inspire Recognition Award to a group of women leaders in the Nigerian print value chain, and the unveiling of a special edition 104 of Princess Digest magazine. As the visionary behind the Inspire to Inspire Why She Leads, I am filled with a profound sense of purpose and excitement and gratitude to God for making this day a reality. The Inspire to Inspire Why She Leads initiative is a testament to our unwavering commitment to celebrating and recognizing incredible women who have not only successfully led organizations, but have also blazed a trail for others to follow. The theme of this conference, Personal Discovery for Women in Leadership, encapsulates the heart and soul of our nation. As we recognize and celebrate the inspirational leadership of these women, we aim to inspire others in the industry and highlight the importance of female leadership and empowerment. We firmly believe that their achievements will serve as shining examples for aspiring women professionals and encourage greater gender equality in all sectors of the economy. Leadership, especially for women, also involves a journey of self-discovery. It is about uncovering one's unique strengths, passion, and purpose. It is about realizing that leadership is not confined by gender, but rather a force within all of us waiting to be unleashed. Each of the remarkable women we honor today has embarked on this journey of personal discovery. They have not only recognized their potential, but have harnessed it to drive their organizations to new heights. Their stories are not just tales of success, but also narratives of self-realization and transformation. In a world where gender equality is still a work in progress, these women serve as beacons of hope and inspiration. Their leadership is not only about breaking barriers, but also about helping others find their own paths to success. They exemplify the idea that when women lead, they empower not only themselves, but also those around them. Distinguished and highly esteemed guests, may I at this juncture remind us that as we proceed with this maiden conference, the stories we celebrate today are not isolated incidents. They are part of a larger movement to encourage and empower women in leadership roles. They remind us that personal discovery is an ongoing journey, and every step we take towards realizing our potential is a step towards a brighter, more inclusive future. I therefore wish to encourage us to listen with rapt attention to the various presentations at this conference, and also to engage in meaningful conversations, share experiences, and be inspired by the stories of the award recipients that have been succinctly captured in the special edition of Printers Digest magazine. I extend my deepest gratitude to the contributors, editors, and everyone who has played a role in bringing this edition to life. May it inspire, inform, and spark conversations that continue to shape the narrative of women in leadership. As we embark on this eventful journey, let us celebrate not only the accomplishments of today, but also the possibilities that lies ahead. May I at this juncture extend our profound gratitude to the chair of this conference, Chief Mrs. Olateju Phillips, our highly esteemed guest speaker, Mrs. Ikwo Uko, our host, Mrs. Hannah Uyemajo, our partners, Redwood Consulting, and my colleagues at DCS Integrated Media Ltd. May God reward you all for all you have done to make today a reality. Remain blessed, Mr. Tunde Obohai, President, CEO, DCS Integrated Media Ltd. Thank you. You are all welcome.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Nora Ofara. Thank you so much. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we may welcome those who just joined us. While we still await the arrival of our chairperson, we just progress rapidly to taking the major presentation for today of the theme, personal discovery in leadership for women. And I'm really excited to bring up Mrs. Iko Oko. Let's celebrate her. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Good morning, distinguished guests and awardees. Should I say congratulations to the awardees? Anna, thank you for inviting me. And I think you did this on behalf of DCS Integrated Media Ltd. For me, it is a moral obligation and my pleasure always to share my experiences and learnings in my career journey and some aspects of my life journey with fellow women. I hope that by so doing, I can help in making your journey even more meaningful and impactful for humanity than mine has been so far. I have been asked to speak on the subject, personal discovery in leadership for women. Of course, there are several definitions of leadership, but the one I find relevant for today's discourse is using what you believe and value and finding relevant ways to inspire people to their highest level of performance. Of course, this is different from manipulation or dictatorship or being in charge. This is different from being the Oga at the top or the Madam at the top. You know, that kind of leadership where when you enter the lift, your subordinates cannot be in that same lift. That's not the type of leadership we're talking about here. The people you lead should share your values, see themselves in your belief, and they should trust that what you present is who you are. The question that should agitate our minds is, what environments can we create to bring out the best in people? Does your organization encourage people to commit to your business, owning up when they make mistakes, asking for help when they have identified their weaknesses? How does your employee deal with your clients? Do you make your employees feel insecure? The journey of leading well starts with knowing, I believe, your purpose. And this will guide your approach to unleashing the potential that is in others and inspiring them to perform at the highest level that they can. Leading with purpose, where our businesses remain profitable, our society is better, and the lives of the people we lead will be better for it. This is the type of leadership we should aim for. It is about how you lead in every aspect of life, business, your family, in your relationship, in whatever role that life may place you in. However, until you can lead yourself, it is going to be difficult to lead others successfully. So the question is, what motivates you? What are your values? In other words, what will you do and what will you not do? Let me start by asking this question, not that I expect an answer immediately. The question is, who are you? When the designation of CEO, MD, Chief Mrs., and the many accolades we might have accumulated is removed before our name, who really are you? When you can answer this question, you get to know your reason for being, which is simply your purpose. We each have to answer this question for ourselves. This is part of the pathway to personal discovery and actualizing your leadership role. Is there a clear plan, possibly documented, to lead this purpose? Acknowledge that the expression of this purpose will change at different seasons of your life. And sometimes new purpose may come to you, but life takes on a new meaning when we live with purpose in mind. The second question, which is related to the earlier question of purpose, is what does success mean to you? When you think of success, what picture do you have in mind? These are sobering questions, and in a world, and especially in Nigeria, where we define success mainly from growth of our business, material wealth, positions, and worldly achievements, the other meaning appears relegated, which is how much do we influence humanity? Today, I challenge you to think again about the footprints of your life journey and your role as a leader. As a CEO, wife, sister, mother, auntie, you are a leader. You have the capacity and capability to influence people, affect them, and drive positive change. Little things like throwing trash from your car and the kids are watching. You are leading in that point. When that child does it later, what do we say? With the circle of influence that social media has opened to us, how are we making positive changes in that online community? We all have 1,000 followers, 500 followers, 10,000. Some of us have them in hundreds. The question is, besides our lovely pictures and social events, and possibly images of our businesses, how are we influencing those people that have been put in that community? Shirley Chisholm, who was the first Black congresswoman and a social activist in the United States of America, said, and I quote, "The emotional, sexual, and psychological stereotyping of females begins when the nurse announces it's a girl." While opportunity to lead in the marketplace and government have not been freely given to women, we are witnesses to the many great women leading and blazing trails in their fields of endeavor and doing great. I mean, just like we have the women in this front table. We as women have the burden to establish credibility in a culture that has mixed feelings about whether, when, and how women should exercise authority and leadership. But I know that things are changing. Let me tell you a little story about myself. About 18 months into my career, when I had a better clarity on my vision of where I was going with my career and life, I intentionally decided to break out of the mold and expectation, and I let go of my self-doubt. Because for women, that question of self-doubt is always there. I had concluded that I wanted to head the marketing division of Nestle. And ultimately I did. And I'll tell you that story later. Society makes us doubt our capabilities as women. To be honest, I have always seen myself as a human with God-given capabilities. The gender issue was not part of my life growing up. I grew up in a home where my father celebrated and encouraged all his children, males, females, to be what they wanted to be. The only thing that limited any of us was his financial capability at the time. A civil servant, where, at the time when bribery and corruption was the exception rather than the rule, he could only afford to send his children to school in Nigeria. I really did, get admitted into the UK to school for my tertiary education, but my father said, "I'm sorry, I can't afford it." So I ended up here, but no problems, it worked out well. My mother, on the other hand, was a feminist in her time. She insisted that my brothers played roles that at the time were seen as strictly female roles, and that was cooking. She insisted that all her sons cooked. Funny story, one of my junior brothers, one of those days he was told to come and pound yam. And he said, that he does not like eating pounded yam suddenly because my mother had said pound yam. Do you know that, my mother said, no problem, you pound the yam, then you eat the, your father and the rest of the family will eat that pounded yam. You would eat boiled yam. Till today, he does not eat pounded yam. So having identified who you are and what you've been created for, sorry, this thing is getting a bit mixed up. Okay. Okay. So having identified who you are and what you've been created to do, and you have the capability to execute, do some personal SWOT. I think Anna said something about playing to strength. I think it's something we should do frequently. SWOT means your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Unveil who you really are, and you will see more of you and what you're capable of doing. Because there is so much more you are capable of doing than where you are now. It is about getting the knowledge about self, change some habits that will allow you to be a better person at leading yourself and then leading others. Wherever we find ourselves, we can lead. But ladies, be confident and bold to step into more. And that more includes leadership position. Your influence as a president is different from that of a governor of a state. Right? So let me tell you a short story about how I navigated the change in my career trajectory from a medical rep into marketing. I have spent 8 years in the infant nutrition business in my company. I was a medical rep detailing infant foods in hospitals. The infant food business was highly regulated with the World Health Organization Code of Ethics for marketing of breast milk substitute. So after 8 years, I thought I had had enough of this regulated business. At this time, it was almost the end of 1989. Nigeria was still grappling with the economic effects of structural adjustment program that started in 1986. I mean, when we see what is going on in Nigeria now, we think it's new. Guys, it's been there for as long as I can remember. So sales had continued to dip for many FMCG businesses. The bottom line of many were red and at best single digits, including Nestle at that time. So the then marketing manager resorted to requesting every staff in the marketing division to send in thoughts and suggestions on how the company should navigate the economic environment and remain profitable in the 90s. I was fortunate in the early days of my career to regularly sit at some of the business meetings with the brand team, the core marketing team. I participated actively, analyzing advertising agency response to briefs, contributing ideas and making necessary suggestions on the subject of nutrition, and this was when I started taking interest in marketing. To upskill myself at the time, I started reading in-house marketing magazines. I was actually finding my sweet spot. So back to the request of the marketing manager about suggesting what we should do for the 90s, I sent in my thoughts and proposed the direction which we should adopt for each business category. He acknowledged and applauded my proposal. By March 1990, I was thrown into the deepest part of the marketing swimming pool. A seasoning brand was given to me to manage. With little or no previous marketing experience and a product that was doing badly in the market, my journey in the marketing world started. Remember, I said my vision was to get to the top of my career in marketing. And did I get there? Sure I did. I became the first marketing manager of Nestle in Nigeria. That is after the company had been there for about 40 years. the lessons from this story, because I'm going to tell a few more stories. The question is, as women, look out for the opportunities to lead at the highest level and take it. You know, when I talk about leading at a higher level, because the higher the level, the more influence that brings. If I not come to you on a platter, I used this strategy 3 times in my career in Nestle. I identified this opportunity and I put my best foot forward through that first assignment of writing a strategic paper as I plunged into the world of marketing. I played to my strength of my knowledge in nutrition and dietetics as a competitive advantage. Marketing was my best route to find the creative expression of nutrition. I was upskilling myself, reading marketing publications, preparatory to being handed a brand to manage. Speaking at meetings and making valuable contributions meant I increased my visibility of being identified when resources were going to be considered. I made bold to say that there was a God factor. Even when I was not deliberate, His mercy and favor was with me. Let me tell you another story of how I advanced to leading at a higher level. Do know that there was intentionality as I navigated my career path. It didn't come to me. I had to take it. I had gone through all the different levels of marketing function and had grown over the years to become the group brand manager. This was the designation we had in the company at the time, with product managers reporting to me. I had reached a point in my career I felt I had much more to give than I was doing at the level of a group product manager. I was convinced that I was ready and capable of moving on to the next level. I needed a bigger platform on which to lead and add value and influence both the marketing and nutrition community in Nigeria. My business wasn't Nestle. My business was Nigeria. I sat at the annual appraisal. I mean, for those that have been in corporate world, you know, end of year, you sit in front of your boss and you're going to be assessed on what you had done for that year. So I sat at the annual appraisal with my boss, who was a white South African. He was in charge of sales and marketing. He was the commercial manager. When he had finished the appraisal session, he asked, "Rico, what is your next step?" I said with every confidence that was in me, I said, "Richard," pointing to his chair, I said, "I want to sit where you're sitting." You can imagine the shock on his face. If this was a Nigerian man, I can imagine what the reaction would have been. Trust me, God would have directed me if this was a Nigerian man. When Richard recovered from this act of audacity of this Nigerian lady, smiling nervously, he said, "But Iko, I'm still here." I smiled back and said, "But Richard, you will leave soon. When you leave, I want to sit there." Me pointing to his chair. He proceeded to ask, "So if you don't get to sit here, what happens?" I said, "Richard, I have had a great and enjoyable career here in Nestle so far. I believe I have given all that I can give at the level of a group product manager, and I'm ready to add value at a higher level. If I don't get it here, I'll look to find expression of myself elsewhere with no hard feelings." A few minutes later, after this session, the MD was in my office. "Iko, I hear you're planning to leave us." I saw the concern in his eyes. We had a few minutes chat. He did not make me any promises, but 3 months later, I was proposed the position of a marketing manager. I became the first female marketing manager for Nestle. I believe the MD and Richard honored my request because they saw high performance and that I delivered value and had earned their respect. The audacity to ask the commensurate value that we bring to the table is what we should feel comfortable doing as women. We can use work or business to inspire people to succeed and do more. I am glad to say with every sense of humility, I have guided and mentored many young marketing professionals who today have gone on to successfully run their businesses or are in top management roles in big organizations. I have helped to upskill marketing professionals in Nigeria and in West Africa, and I could not have done this at the group brand manager level. As we aspire to succeed in our career and businesses, we should re-examine the opportunities that present around us to lead and inspire. It cannot just be about earning more money and accumulating accolades and chopping life, as we all say. Don't get me wrong, those things have their place. However, how about we start to shift the paradigm to see our jobs and businesses as a platform for leaving legacy. A short story again. There was a guy, he had just been moved from sales to the marketing division. And I saw he was struggling. He wasn't reporting to me. I had nothing to do with it because I just knew him. And because I was sitting at the executive level, I knew that the next time this guy went for his presentation was going to be whether he stays in that company or he leaves. What did I do? I took him, found a room somewhere in the office, took him there and got him to practice his presentation. Because for me, I couldn't bear to see this gentleman fail. Like I said, not my subordinate or anything, but it's about what we live in people's lives. Because like I always said, nobody remembers how many cartons of any product I sold in that company. Nobody remembers anything. The only thing they remember is, how were you to me? We were colleagues, fine, but I can't remember any Christmas. This is something like 10 years later that this guy does not send a pack to my home. And I keep on asking, he said, "Madam, you don't know what I do." That's what I'm talking about, using wherever we are to impact people. Now, what are some of the things that hold us back from personal self-discovery earlier in life? For women, because of our life seasons, and we sometimes delay clarifying and crystallizing how we want to navigate life. Personal discovery or leadership are definitely subjects that our moms don't guide us on. We are encouraged to get educated, pass exams in flying colors, avoid boys in your teens, get a job, immediately get married, and as you get into your mid-20s and have children, that's it. I have interacted with C-suite women in their mid-40s and 50s, and many of them look confused, frustrated, as they try to pick up their lives when the children have left home. We can and we should define our vision of where we're going in life early. A vision that includes career goals, of course, but also life goals. Suddenly, the woman realizes that she has been going through the motion of work or business, raising a family, and being a wife. And so the feeling of being unfulfilled and that inner emptiness sets in when the children leave home. As I round up, let me tell one last story about my career trajectory, and this was getting onto the board of Nestle Nigeria. A few things had happened, left the marketing manager position, restructuring and all of that. A new MD comes in. By this time, I was in my early, mid-50s or so. And so I sit again, another appraisal session. But before then, let me give a story. I hope I have a few more minutes. The new management team comes into Nigeria to visit. Usually we were reporting into Ghana, So the team from Ghana comes, the head of the Central and West Africa region comes to visit in Nigeria. And he decides that they were going to visit our factory in Agbara. We had to do carpooling, and he decided that he wanted to sit in my car. You can imagine, my goodness, I must have been, if you checked under my arms, sweat was dripping that, oh my goodness. Sheraton to Agbara would be minimum of 1.5 hours if we're fast. So the question is, what am I going to tell this French guy between here and Agbara? Again, I guess the God factor, something switched off. I mean, I sat there and got to Agbara. The current MD who was about leaving then asked, so how was the trip? You know, because everybody would want this kind of ride. I said it was okay. He said, just okay. I said it was okay. He asked the guy, you know, the boss I was sitting, he said, how was the ride? He said, I couldn't have asked for another partner in this journey. What did I do? I left the level of, you know, the normal, oh, our product is doing well, oh, we can do this. I started talking about the Nigerian economy. This was somebody coming into West Africa for the first time. So guess what? I needed to give him hope. And I started telling him about the limitless opportunity that we have here. And I talked about this and I talked about that. Okay? I must have laid the foundation, because guess what? When I now sat with my boss, who was also new at the time, he says, Iko, what's the next level? I said, I want to sit on the board. Ladies, in certainly 2 of those occasions, I have spoken it from my mouth. He smiles. He flips through his little notebook and he says, Iko, that's what I wrote down as well. I was the first woman to be on the board of Nestle Nigeria. Yes, we tell the nice story, because of course there would have been challenges along the line. I mean, that's not the purpose of being here. I need to inspire you. But of course, there were challenges, but I did not go down with those challenges. But the point is, I'm talking about, if we want to be more, we should be bold to ask. So, as a round up, I leave you with these few tips. Time is precious. As human beings, time is precious. There'll be a time, even when we want to inspire, we will not be able to. So whilst we can, we should. Find your purpose and different ways to express it. I'm an ideas person. If you sit with me for 5 minutes and you say, oh, we have this, I said, well, that's my purpose. I can reel out for you 10 things you should be doing. So the question is, find that purpose. And I always say, look, start with that thing you love doing, and even if nobody pays you for it, you do it. But you can find an expression for it that would help others around you. Is your vision clear? For me, I frequently have to do my SWOT analysis to ascertain where I require improvements. In leading people, I want to play to my strength, and you should play to your strength. I mean, there are different leadership styles, as we know it, but we can play to our strength. I mean, something that sometimes a bit difficult, but I think it's for, and women express it much more than men, which is, can we just leave our emotions at home? When we get into that space, we all are going through stuff, but it's not when the production guy says, Madam, good morning. He's not the cause of your problem, he's not. So, like I said, I know it's difficult, but those are some of the things we should check. Now, maybe I should be talking to the ladies there, and a few others that I see. There are different leadership styles, like I said, and it gets complex these days when you're leading about 3 to 4 generations of people in your business or setup. You have the baby boomers, you have the Gen Zs, you have the millennials, you have the Gen Alphas. They are different people. And therefore, it's as if you're putting on one cap, taking it off, putting on another cap and taking it off. So, your people's skill will be important in navigating today's business and even work. Are you equipped with emotional intelligence to deal with 3 or 4 generations of employees? And also remember that what worked 5 years ago is not applicable today. Show up as your authentic self. Bring value to people you lead, build trust, and allow people live their dreams. Own the process. I mean, even if your employee goes wrong, own the process from beginning to end. You're the one to chase and ensure that what you have set out is achieved. Please embrace technology. It is our reality. And I'm talking about this for particularly business owners. And indeed, if you're still in employment, we can't escape it anymore. For those that travel, these days you get to some airports, there's nobody there. You have to do things yourself. You have to fill out your visa arrival yourself and all of that. And as if that's not enough, we now have to grapple with AI. With AI and all that it brings to work, we have to reevaluate a lot of things. And even for some of our businesses and our jobs, we need to ask, would that be relevant in 5 years' time? There are jobs that will go, for sure. There are businesses that will go, for sure. The question is, are we aware of this? And this is about, for leaders, it's about upskilling and understanding the trends and things unfolding in our environment. The other thing which I should talk about, which influences all of us, is social media. How does your social currency stack up? If I Google, which I can ask us, if you just go to Google and type your name and see what comes out. Because I know many of us don't do that frequent enough. We don't do that. So what would they see there? Because as much as we are hoping for, more businesses and all of that, when you type your name, I do that for myself. So if you want, go ahead and type your name and see what comes out there. What images do people see? What have you been associated with? Because when we say we want to lead, also the people we're leading are checking up on us. Gone are the days where, I was in that generation where you sit at a meeting, maybe this happens in corporate, trust me, ladies in business, it happens as well. You're holding a meeting, and people are texting back and forth about you. I hope you know that. It happens, So technology is changing quite a lot of things, but like I said, how do you stack up on social? Because that's the first place people will check you out, let's face it. I live a lot of my life on my phone now because of what I do. By the way, I have a food blog, and so I'm permanently there. And I see the way we get all mixed up, because the people we're leading, are checking us out there. It's not just what you say. They'll go to Madame's page and, my goodness, what they see there, she's not on LinkedIn, she's nowhere to be found. So, because your customers, if I'm talking to the business people here, your customers are not my age anymore. They are from 30, 35 down. Those are the people sitting, those are the people calling the shots in organizations. Those are the people you relate to give you business. So they don't have time for Madam to come and sit in front of them and be telling stories. If they want to find out about you, they want to check you out on social. So how do you start on social? Just one last word, and that's it. And the point is the quality of leadership you bring will affect the quality of followers. The quality of leadership you bring will affect the quality of followers. And so, ladies, and the few gentlemen that are here, let's lead with that self-discovery, that personal discovery in mind. And more importantly, when all of this is done and I sit back and I look back at my business, my printing business, what else? Just like that colleague of mine who keeps on sending me gifts 10 years after. Would you find, it's not just about gifts, but that's somebody that will say, oh, madam, do you remember you did so for me? That person is not going to be talking about your printing press. The person is going to be talking about how you challenge him, how you improve his life so that he or she has gone ahead to do great things as well. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow, thank you so very much. Thank you. You're sitting here, Hello, ladies. You want to run away? Don't run away. I want you to. Please, I want you to go back here. All right, thank you so very much. Well done, well spoken. Thank you. Very well spoken from the heart, authentic as always, and she's pulled out the pillars we know about growth, about leadership. Thank you. Yes, about leadership. Always the same, the same pillars take us up. And the pillars have taken them where they are today. And remember, the theme is inspired to inspire, which means we are not just inspired, but we are inspirations wherever we are. We have in the room today many of our ladies who are still currently in corporate world. And I dare say that there is a linkage between business and career. Career is business, business is career. There's a lot of loops around, tied between both of them. Anyone who sees the business or her business as career is going to do very well. And any employee who sees her career as a business is going to do very well. Because there's something about entrepreneurial spirit and leadership there. There's something about leadership in the corporate office, the C-suite, the glass ceiling or wherever you are there. Bringing it back in here into business, they all are interwoven and they work together. So I'm really delighted that we're fusing both together in the room today. Thank you very much, ladies, and a few gentlemen, bold men here. Pulling out a few points from what equals, I don't know if you have questions. I think we have 10 minutes with equal, yes, now, because we can take questions. We can take questions. Some of the points made is the fact that as a woman who intends to be a leader, you can't be a silent, a quiet person. Is that correct? We all know from experience, isn't it? Your mouth is, your destiny is in your mouth. What you don't ask for, you may never get. Equal's story is my story is very similar to Equal's. It's the same thing anywhere. You've got to be outspoken, but outspoken rightly. Ability to ask the right questions to the right persons at the right time. Being self-driven. Being someone who is authentic in herself. Assured of herself. Background is inconsequential. Hello? Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's no pretenses. I'm not able to speak like Bumi, okay? Bumi, okay, here is Bumi, hello. Like I said, I just thought we shouldn't mention names here. We have doctors in here, we have leaders in here, we have people who have led associations and corporations within the industry. The room is filled with quite a number of, top-heavy people, but we can't go about mentioning that. But it's the same way. To get into leadership, I'm saying all of this story so you can ask your question, okay? Mona ask question. Hello? Yes. And you see, people have transited, like I said, some of the awardees transited from career into business. Some people move from business back into career. Some of us have done both. I have done both, in, out, here and there. But the same spirit leads at both ends. Like I said, business is career. Career is business. Questions? Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, thank you. Questions? Yes, thank you. Woo.
afternoon. My name is Patricia Ojora, Promo Prince. Thank you very much for that. Was very enlightening. I want to know what you're doing now and how you have transited from being the marketing director to, I know that you're going on to bigger and better, and but we would like to really know what you're doing now and how you decided to transit. Thank you.
Another question, take the other one. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma, for this very inspiring presentation. My question is on the issue of identifying the right time to say the right thing. I found myself at an interview session, and one of the questions that they asked me was, in the next 3 years, where do you see yourself? And I told the MD that I see myself sitting on your seat. And the man asked me, do you want to chase me away? And I told him, I don't expect you to be stagnated where you are. I expect you to move higher. Though I didn't take up that job because the offer was no good. So my question is, where you're working, honestly, I've had a conversation with one of our board members, and one day he asked me, why didn't you tell me that you would like to be on the board? And I was like, how would I just come and tell my boss that I want to be on the board after being just 6 months in the company? So how do you identify the right time and the right opportunity and using the right word so that they don't see you as being overzealous or being too forward? Thank you.
Okay, let me take the first two.
Yes.
Okay. So I retired about 8 years ago. At the statutory age of 60. So do your calculation. So, since retiring, which was also deliberate, I had told myself how, if I've spent 34.5 years in Nestle, that was the only place I worked really. I wasn't going to sit at home. I don't know how to do it. But at the same time, I wasn't also going to go into business because I knew that I had functioned too much in a sane environment that to come into insanity. But I did try. What were some of the things I did? Immediately I left Nestle, I went into Firo. I said, okay, let me gradually integrate. Firo is Nigeria. So if I get in there, that's how Nigeria operates. Just let me delete, that same structured environment. I went to Firo for about 3 months. They had this entrepreneurship thing they did. Not that I needed. I mean, at some point I was one of the lecturers. I paid my money to be student. But fair enough. My background is nutrition and dietetics. Before I left, I think about 4 years or 3 years before I left, I started food blogging, food photography, post recipes and all of that. Grew my social following on Facebook, and then by the time I left, some people, what is food blogging? You write recipes, you post on the website, people go there, Brands would advertise on your page. That's how you make money from that. Now, as I left, I started growing. By the time I left, I think I had about 70-something thousand people following me on Facebook. Now, Instagram came, I launched into Instagram. And I looked at Instagram and I said, 60 years, and now I'm about to compete with 30-something, 20-something. Are you not, is it not suicide? Okay, but let's see. I took my marketing background. I said, this is competition. Now, how do I differentiate? I started differentiating with my style of photography, which I learned from my son. I started differentiating with the type of videos I put out. I think today, because also I'm not doing too much there, I have 116,000 followers on Instagram. Organic, never promoted it. Let me finish on that note. I then finally wrote a book, Memories on a Platter, a food book, I call it. It has recipes, but a food and culture book. You know, when I wanted to price this book on Amazon, I said, oh my goodness, I know what this book, the value. Do you know this book is more expensive than Gordon Ramsay's book on Amazon if you go there? It's more expensive than most. And I said, that's it. That's the value I place. I mean, I'm not Gordon Ramsay. He knows how much he wants his own book to do. So I have this book. I promoted in Nigeria. I promoted in Canada. More recently, I was featured in Essence magazine for this book. Essence magazine in the US. I'm also on the board of some organizations, and have kept visible in the marketing and communication space. And so, from time to time, I have speaking engagements and all that. But as you can see, there was planning. I didn't just, because even in business, which is, I know it's always more difficult in business to separate when you really want to retire, but we have to. And it is not retire to go and do nothing. Because I think that's the mentality. It's as if you might retire from the core printing and you're doing something else, possibly related, or something less, tasking. But there has to be a time that you prepare for that. So for me, knowing that I was going to exit anyway, and I had decided this is what I want to do, what I love doing, I create recipes at 10 p.m. It's not that anybody's buying that recipe, but like I said, what is that thing that you will do even if nobody pays you for it? So that has been my life, outside of Nestle. But I tell you, it's been so active. I mean, like I was telling Bumi, I don't know how I'm going to face next week in terms of the back-to-back activity. So it comes, but sometimes it's also quiet, which I like. So retirement is something we should start to plan for. And that, I tell you, for the younger person, the day you get in is the day you should plan the retirement. Because I guess people are retiring at 40 now. Some people are retiring at 35. Hopefully you've made enough money at 40 to want to retire and go do something else, something that will be less stressful. On asking, was this person a Nigerian?
Yeah.
Okay. It's always more difficult. Like I said, sometimes I find that because I, worked most of my life in a multinational, it's sometimes difficult for me to understand the dynamics of, other organizations. When do you ask? If I tell you it's the Holy Spirit, you say they call it spirituality. But it's sometimes it just comes, and this is it's there. I would have wanted to ask. I would have rehearsed the sentence, how I'm going to ask it. But I tell you, because you have that in mind, you'll find that time. You'll find the appropriate time. Of course, because I'm looking how many men are in the room before they come. Because I tell women, how do we get things from our husbands and we can't get things from our bosses? I don't know. It's the same suffer catch monkey formula. It's the same formula. The boss that I said I told him I wanted to be on the board. Because, like I said, my address did not wasn't supposed to look at that. If you work in a corporate organization, your male colleagues would find time with the boss. They will go out for a drink with him. You can't do that. And therefore, in terms of the person the boss has visible to him all the time, is that guy who is drinking with him at the bar. So you as a man, what should you do? The last boss I had, I became his fashion police. And if you look at it, it's the same thing we do for our husbands, but you know where to draw the line. I mean, if your husband is walking out of the door, or your boyfriend is walking out of the door, and he's not properly, you call him back and say, no, I'm not sure this color is quite, don't you think? We do that. But there's a way we can also do it in that corporate environment. And so, one of those days, we went for a conference and I saw him wearing these t-shirts that looked like it's been pulled in 10 different places. And I said, I'm not so sure. Did you come with another t-shirt? I don't think this doesn't quite suit, you. He said, for real? I said, yes, for real. Do you know this guy ran upstairs and changed? As he came in, he tucked his shirt and he whispered to me, is that okay now? I said, yes. He valued it because guess what? He's human. He might just have been looking like a big, tall, old fool there. But somebody has just made him look. That's it. And I've not crossed that boundary. I've not gone, it's not an indecent. It could have been a male that would have told him the same thing. But you find, so when that is there's a certain type of relationship you've created, but you keep it really official. So when you're coming to discuss your career, you don't feel as comfortable. I mean, there'll be a tone we can use. I remember earlier on in my career, I attended a course in London Business School, and at the end, we had psychologists who would tell us, when you're first you get into groups, just like we are here. First week, we're in a group. When you get there, sometimes people are not, they're giving us an assignment, let's do the assignment, but people are still dragging their feet. My normal Nigerian, I'm banking table, I said, time, we need to. Do you know, we finished and usually you get back into your groups and then the psychologist would come to assess you and they asked because the group members are to describe you as an animal. I was a lion. So when I had a one-on-one with the psychologist, she said, the way I am is natural because I've been working with men. I've been banging tables. So it comes, with having worked with men for a long time, that we really don't have to, as women, we don't have to. And she said something to me which stayed with me, and I still use it both personally and in corporate environment, which is, I have this idea. It's my idea. I go to my boss, and I said, this idea, I'm planning to sell this idea to a bigger group. And I gave it to my boss. I said, look at it. I came up with this. What do you think? That phrase is magical for men. It's magical for men. At the next meeting, the guy is defending. He'll give you credit. He said, this came from a court. He will defend and defend. But guess what? If I went to that same meeting with this my brilliant idea, and he wasn't told, it's killed from sentence 2. That's what we call in Nigeria native intelligence. And these things apply. They apply whether you're negotiating prices for jobs, and I mean, we didn't go into that. I know the challenges women have when you get to the purchasing department. The guy sitting at the other end thinks, this lady, she must have a man now supporting her. So this job, let her do it for 5 naira. The man, let the man do it for 8 naira. It happens. It's not written anywhere, but it happens. So, my sister, just depend on the Holy Spirit, that's all I can tell.
Thank you very much. Yes, another question. Yes.
Thank you. You've you've already answered my question about retirement. It was actually about retirement, how you plan for it. Do you actually retire from your own business?
You should at some point. I mean, because whether you like it or not, physiologically you will not be able to do it. It's I don't know how to. There's this thing, I don't know whether it's available online, and it's about Coca-Cola company. And the original owner, the challenges he had. At 90, this man was still calling people to his house, MDs to his house to debrief him. It was a painful, when I read through it, I said, this is painful. There should be a time and a place, and trust me, I know the story. For business owners, I know. I think printing is even better. You can imagine the people running schools. It is a big challenge for proprietors and proprietresses who own schools. Their children are not interested. And it's a bigger problem because, for printing, once I've delivered the jobs of my clients, I can sell machines, sell and move on. But for a school, you're talking about human beings. You have children in the school. What do? You give off money to their parents. It's challenging. But we need to at some point, and that's about. It's difficult getting people in early. But I know you train the people, they leave you. I know. It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious circle. By the way, it's the same thing in churches. It's the same thing in churches. They're looking for succession. There's nobody to take over the business. But what other people do is you start to see who can buy in or who can buy. At some point you tell yourself, I'm not even going to do it again. I don't have the strength to do it again. The people supplying you with papers at some point you'll be 30-something-year-old. So by the time they mar you too much, mama, know that you've had it. So the point is, if your children are not ready to take it over, is to consider sell it, move on to, because we are there emotionally attached, until the thing runs out. You can't run after those young people after some time. You can't. Madam, I'm going to buy food. It is endless buy food. It gets complex. So it's that thing you say, okay, how should I phase it? It can be a phased retirement where you say, okay, I still hang on to this part and this other part, somebody else will do it, but not an easy decision at all. I know that.
Thank you very much. The other part of my question was succession, and you treated that as well, so thank you very much.
Any other? Two more, and then we call it a wrap. And then I hope that Chief Mrs. would have been here, otherwise we progress. Okay. Yes, any other questions? Okay, yes, thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you very, very much. We're glad to have you here. I just wanted to ask a question in line with what she said and with your response. Because I retired from my business out of frustration. When I now realized that every other business I went to do, I was still very much in love with what I thought I was frustrated about. So I actually wrote a resignation letter, which was rejected. So I went back to it.
So volume up, please, so they can hear you.
Okay, so I went back to the business. But I was thinking to ask, if we have a board, and for example, she chooses to retire at 60 and decides to now, maybe, currently she has a chairman, but she now she's understudying that person. Hopefully the person would have performed very well. So she could now take up that role. The only problem is at times we don't know the difference between being a chairman and being a managing director. So I thought to bring this up because of all of us that are here, that could be an avenue to ensure that we all go and look into our businesses, ensure we have board of directors, and aim for chairmanship role within the business, but have a mentor, like somebody like you, who will be able to tell somebody the truth that, alright, you are not managing director, you are chairman and should operate in chairman capacity. It's not an everyday job. Thank you.
I think you're spot on. I'm on the board of an organization where, owned by Nigerians, but they have, taken a decision to say, we want to pull out. It is difficult. I can see them struggling. They brought in KPMG and all of that, just to get them to hands off. It is difficult. The question is, should you be the chairman then? Because once you're the chairman, you're going to be having fights with the MD. It is normal. It's about, because also when people come on boards, to have an effective board, people need to be trained, people need to understand their roles. Because, like you said, we just carry the name, but we don't carry the responsibility. We also want to encroach. After all, it's your money. So I think it's about those definitions, and sometimes if you know that you are not going to be able to not get emotionally involved, then I think it's to get somebody else, possibly to be the chair. You can be on that board, but between the chairman and the MD, I think it's always best that there's some independence in that sense. Does the board actually solve the problem of the sustainability of the business? I'm not so sure. In the Nigerian context, I'm not even sure. The board is there, all right, we have put a board in place. But the point is that unless the MD, appointed MD, has a stake in that business, from what I have seen, if the MD has a stake in that business or some buy-in, it helps. Absolutely, it helps. But if you're the sole investor, forget it. Because the MD will continue to see himself or herself as an employee and working for Madam. So, and the board members, really and truly, there's little they can do. So the question would be, looking at the business model, it's some lecture I gave last week at Lagos Business School, where I'm talking to organizations that are not even SMEs, and I'm telling them, look at your business model. And we're talking in the context of the economic hardship and difficulties that businesses are in. How should you run this business? And I talked about technology. If we do a lot, and really as much as we can with technology, then we become less dependent on the human side. I mean, of course, I know production, sometimes there's so much you can depend on technology, but technology helps. Let's face it, for some of our businesses, before now, we didn't have CCTV cameras. Today we have. So when that production person is there, when they're not there. But a lot would have to go off manual. That's the way to control things. It costs money, because if you get really people that know what they're doing to set up the business so that it becomes less manual. I think the less manual it is, the slightly easier. Note I said slightly. Does not, the Nigerian environment is the Nigerian environment, there's no doubt about that. But I think that could help. It could help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's jam it up again. Thank you so much, people. We benefited a lot from this.
Yes.
we're just going to progress, but I just wanted to share something, just one tip or two, based on some of the questions. Speaking to the point on succession, I also noticed that for many entrepreneurs, especially successful ones, there are some things that make them successful. They are very energetic, they are very innovative, they are go-go's, they are doers, they are very, and that strength continues to be there, even at age 70, 80 and more. Question, where do we put that energy outside our business? We've spoken about board membership. That's one thing Nico has done very well, and gradually I'm doing that well as well. I think that we also need to inspire many other businesses from the experiences we've garnered over the years by also sitting on many other boards. What that means is your company has its own board, you are either chair or you are not chair or you are a non-executive, but you are sitting on other boards, especially younger entrepreneurs, and you are adding value to their business. So the energy is still active, your mind is still very active, which is the difference between people, little me and few others. There are some people at age 50, because they've retired, they look 70, they look 80, because they're no longer active at all. And their minds, especially the mind, is no longer active. So I just want to put that on the table. And then finally, something happened with someone who is close to me. They're running a mega business, billions annual turnover they do. And this lady, I went visiting one day. The rapport had gotten to the point of confidentiality. Then she looked to my face and said, Hannah, I have an issue. I'm like, what is it? She said, you see, this business is so and so, it's big, you know. She said to me, my children are not interested in this business at all. She said, and the profitability in this business is near to nothing. She said, I know where we started, I know what it is today. He said, I'm amazed at what God is doing with this business, but the question is, what's in the future? She said, my two children are outside, they are not in Nigeria, and they have not shown interest. She said, I'm pained. She said, every day I'm crying to say, look, we are getting old. What do we do? And right there, the thought came to me to say, you are that big. Why not diversify this business? I said, open it up. I said, open it up. What do you mean by opening? Open means at least, yes, make it bigger, make it a PLC, bring in other, still hold your stake as much as you can. Let some other person take up the body. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what he started to do. They've gone big now. They've got other funders from, if I mention their name, you know them. It's an indigenous, but it's becoming a conglomerate, big. And I'm so glad they went there. The last time I saw her, she said, wow. She said to me, Hannah, opening this business up, she said, there are things I thought I knew, I didn't know. Because they opened up to more professionals, the funders and all, they brought in a lot of other skills and tools and modeling and all of that is changing everything that business is running. And honestly, there's business to watch out for. So, as the point really is that when there is a will to say we are going somewhere, there's always somewhere an answer. All right. Thank you, ladies and the few gentlemen. So now we're moving straight now to the award presentation. That's what we have to do now. Fortunately, fortunately, yes. We have two major items on the agenda today, whilst we still await our chairperson who has been calling to say she apologizes but she'll join us. We have the award presentation now, and then we're then going to have the unveiling of the magazine. Those are the two items. So the awards, yes, just a second. Do you mind just give me like 2 minutes? 2 minutes break, two minutes only. I just want to clear something. Yes, thank you. If you can just interact with somebody by your side, please just ask them, tell them hi, tell them, hope you're not hungry just yet. Hi, good to see you, good to meet you. Yes, thank you. 2 minutes. Thank you, ladies. Let's be seated. I know the networking is thank you so much, ma'am. She's just going to say a few words, and then we progress to the awards.
Good afternoon, everyone. I really don't want to take the forum too seriously because the purpose of us coming together here today is quite key. Unfortunately, my welcome address cannot be taken in now as I have been with other programs who are coming here and have already started. But nevertheless, a word of the elders as per acquired wisdom can be delivered in brief in 2 seconds. Because people who know me know that I love talking, and I can have you glued to me for the next 4 hours from one thing to the other. Observing the existing protocol, and good afternoon, House at large. I can see that a lot of the guests here, or the audience, are women. But I've seen some student members here this afternoon. So we are not going to really make it a gender-sensitive situation. I would like you to regroup for another session, and we have solely for women, so that we can debate this important issue of gender sensitivity. There is nowhere that I go, no position that I hold, that I will not find one way or the other to rub this issue. I can see some men moving their heads, wondering, what's wrong with this mama? Is this something that we want to compare to? But don't worry. This is the season where we need to recognize ourselves. And that is why I'm appealing to the organizers that please have one for we, so that we can discuss all about us. Inspiration is a life commitment which one has to do to mentor the inspired. I'm just coming from a meeting of a burial committee of a great man that inspired me in this life. It doesn't have to be your relative before you get a mentor. It can be anyone from anywhere. But this great man was my blood. I'm talking in the name of Capitola Williams. As a young girl, he was instrumental in picking, he was my father's cousin, in picking the school that I attended in England. He was the one that inspired me to study accountancy, and coming back, he was behind me for a successful career. That was a man who gave inspiration to an inspired human being, and that was me. So that is quite very relevant to today's topic. You need to grow others in the right direction. That is part of inspiration. you need to guide, you need to develop, and sometimes you need to go out of your way and ensure that that inspirational build that you are trying to give to the next human being is seen to completion. It's like a contract. This one is not, is indirect most of the times. You see a man who has been principled in life about virtually every step taken. Success doesn't come just like that. You work for it and you ensure that it's seen to completion. And inspirationally, you can inspire somebody in all spheres of life, whether your education, your profession, your marriage, your spiritual attainments, your contribution to your community, even lending hands to societies around you. I know amongst those seated here, I have a cousin, and I'm sure I must have inspired her one way or the other. In the person of Lola.
That's right.
Here. Our parents are first cousins. Just like the man that I said inspired me was my father's first cousin. But forget that I'm talking of family members now. There are others. I worked as a commissioner under Ashwad Bola Tinubu. Whatever you want to say today, he inspired me. And that inspiration is nothing but his focus on anything he wants to do. The distractions don't mean anything to him. Focused the man is. That's part of inspiration. So, whatever you can do in life, please do it well. Because by doing it well, you inspire others. Your siblings, your relatives, the people in your community, those in diaspora that read about you, the world around you, your home. Just remain focused and ensure that you inspire well. Nigeria is a developing country. There is no way, whatever you want to say, that you think we can match the developed world, the developed countries as they are. We have to do our own typical things. Our own peculiarity is still the state we are. And to move it up, you have to, it's trial and error. It's like a child that is born. Before walking, the child crawls. Before talking, blah, 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 they start talking. So it's a stage. And I believe we're in a stage where we are making a lot of conscious effort to get it right. Posterity is part of what we are trying to do. And if you inspire well, it's not just the immediate people. Posterity will come, they will read about you, they will read about your achievements, and that will inspire them. I don't want to take too much of your time because the welcoming address is past come. But I think I have tried to be emphatic on inspiring others to come, inspiring those who are around you, and inspiring the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Very well spoken. When I sent out the invitation to the few people I personally invited, Lola, then they say, wow, she's my big auntie. And this, wow, I have to listen to her, I must come. Yes, indeed, you've inspired her and inspired many other people. Yes, thank you very much, ma'am. One more time, shall we just please celebrate? Thank you. Now we progress very speedily to the awards. What we'll do is to read out the profile of all the awardees all together because of our time, and then we make the presentation. Both our chairperson is around, and we just flow in that dimension. Thank you. Seven people are being awarded today. You can go ahead. And 7 organizations.
Managing Director and CEO of Africa Printing and Publishing Company Limited in Lagos. She's a dynamic leader, known for maintaining high-quality standards, industry-setting values, and stakeholders' inclusivity at AFCA. With a PhD in commercial law from the University of Lagos, she's a corporate law expert, accredited mediator at the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse, tax solution expert, business recovery and insolvency expert, as well as speaker and writer. Additional's legal and business acumen complements her profound understanding of the printing and publishing sector. Committed to mentoring youth and instilling positive values, Dr. Falaye upholds principles of hard work, diligence, persistence, and integrity, guided by her strong belief in the God factor. Beyond her professional pursuits, she's a philanthropist with initiatives such as For the Love of God initiative, using golf to support charity and raise funds for pediatric cancer patients. Dr. Falaye is a positive thinker who enjoys activities such as traveling, tourism, charity work, volunteering, and playing golf. Managing Director of Gifted Printing Solutions Limited and World-Class Events. She is a formidable presence in the business world as a distinguished member of the Unveiling Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She extends her influence beyond her companies. Ngozi serves as a board of trustee member for the Association of Promotional Product Specialists of Nigeria and is a member of the Manufacturing Association of Nigeria. Recognized for outstanding contributions, she has received prestigious accolades, including the titles of Best Premium Quality Heat Transfer Product Company of the Year in 2017 and 2019 from the Global Quality Excellence Awards. Initiated into business at an early stage by her reputable businessman father, Ngozi holds a degree in French language from Africa College of Education, now Delta State University. Combining linguistic finesse with entrepreneurial acumen, her unwavering belief in ambition is evident in her relentless pursuit of excellence and elevating her company to iconic status in Nigeria.
Thank you. Let's celebrate. Thank you so much. We take one more profile and then we make those presentations and then we go again. Thank you. There we go.
Hajiya Ganiyat Falashidi Nurdin is Brazilian international leader. She holds a master's in industrial relations from the University of Lagos. Also, a BA in philosophy from the University of Ado-Ekiti and a postgraduate diploma in public relations and advertising from the University of Ibadan. With a rich educational background, including certifications in computer engineering, She's been the CEO and Managing Director of Brandville Prints and Promotions Limited for 2 decades, demonstrating a profound understanding of advertising, printing, and branding. Member Vespa Global, member PSI, member Chartered Institute of Professional Printers of Nigeria, member Women in Printing Association of Nigeria, member Association of Promotional Product Specialists of Nigeria. Under her leadership, Brandville Printers excel in creating engaging communications and quality products, earning recognition such as the User's Choice Award from VConnect. Hajia Falashade is a motivating manager with strong interpersonal skills, experience in technical documentation, project coordination, and financial management. She has showcased high-quality leadership through her tenure as a corporate affairs manager at Crystal L'Oreal Limited and administrative officer at Arab Contractors Nigeria Limited. Beyond her corporate achievements, she serves as the executive secretary of the Breast Cancer Awareness Initiative in Lagos, Nigeria, demonstrating her commitment to non-governmental organizations. Hajia Falashade is a distinguished member of professional organizations, including being a fellow of the Institute of Brand Management of Nigeria, a member of the British Promotional Merchandise Association UK, and a member of Every Woman UK Network for Women Business Owners.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you. Really, it's really interesting. So may I respectfully ask what I'll make these presentations for this first 3. First, Dr. Mrs. Adeshola Fala, yes, please. Thank you. We have the chairperson, supported by the guests. Yes, for the person to make the yes.
Dr. Adeshola Fala, congratulations for this award because of the wonderful achievements you've made so far. The sky is the limit for you. Please keep it up.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Done?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Dr. Mrs. Adeshola Fala, congratulations. Right. May I respectfully call on Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okachuku. Mrs. Ngozi, please. Thank you. I'm sure there are many of us that are surprised to know the pedigree of these women. I mean, PhD, this, that. Honestly, or some of us have been like, these are ONG, past school sites, this, yeah. Very impressive. Well done. Very well done. Yes.
I present to you
Dr. Ngozi.
Yes. This wonderful award for all that you've been doing. Those relent efforts. You will have plenty of time in life to achieve more. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Congratulations, ma'am. Next on the list is Hajia Falashade Nurudeen. Come on, celebrate Hajia. In leading engineering, she even attends computer engineering plus everything. Fantastic, brilliant.
Sorry.
To Ghanaians Nurudeen, I thought I had been lettered as doctor on the way. I congratulate you for this award given to you for your recognition in terms of all that you have deliberated upon to move the country ahead. It is exemplary to have women doing all this. And I'm sure you are one of those who will inspire the upcoming inspired.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes. So thank you. So we progress to the next phase of the next batch of the awardees, and please just follow me. Let's check their profiles. Yes. Thank you. I think we're going to call on now Mrs. Patricia Ojora. Yes. Would you please be upstanding, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am.
Mrs. Patricia Ojora, Managing Director and CEO of Promo Print Ventures, excels in manufacturing the printing of promotional items. Under her leadership, Promo Print Ventures stands out for its efficient manufacturing, exceptional service, extensive branding knowledge, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to every other. A resident trailblazer in the printing industry, Mrs. Patricia has navigated success and setbacks, demonstrating determination that has propelled Promo Print Ventures to its current success. As a lawyer and seasoned entrepreneur, Mrs. Patricia Ojora holds a law degree from Queen Mary College, University of London, and the Nigerian Law School. She practices the fail-forward ethos, drawing from experiences in both success and failure. A veteran scholar of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women program, she has expanded Promo Print capabilities to encompass full tailoring, screen printing, embroidery, graphics, and concept manufacturing, school and corporate uniform, embossing, engraving, and other branding methods, all done in-house. Mrs. Patricia is an advocate for women's rights in the workplace and actively supports charitable initiatives. She's a founding member of the Livestream charity, providing local youth with internship and training programs to develop new skills and income sources. Serving on the board of Alliances for Africa, a UK-based human rights NGO, and as a trustee of the Gallant Graces Foundation, Mrs. Patricia Ojora is dedicated to impacting the lives of young girls with dreams and ambitions.
Yeah, let's celebrate. Thank you. Congratulations, ma'am. Abiola Sunday.
Abiola Sunday, President of the Association of Promotional Product Specialists of Nigeria, and CEO of Queen Street Nigeria Limited, a prominent corporate promotional branding firm. She holds a BSc in Economics from Ocean State University and an MSc in Financial Management from Middlesex University, UK. With a background in the public sector, including roles at the Office of Population and Census and the London Borough of Hackney, she transitioned to entrepreneurship in Nigeria, amassing over 18 years of experience. Passionate about rural women's empowerment, Abiola actively engages in business development management sessions and leadership training. Our versatile administrative skills are reflected in her local and international affiliations, including membership in the Remo Growth Development Foundation and roles as a founding non-executive director of Geoscape Oil and Gas Nigeria Limited, Verdant Zeal Marketing Communications, and the Association of Promotional Product Specialists Nigeria. Additionally, she serves as a founding member on the board of trustees of the Boys to Men Initiative in Lagos.
Thank you.
Princess Funmilayo Bakari Okewu. Who is represented? Please be upstanding. Thank you.
Francis Layo, Olumutomi K. Bakari Okewu, MD CEO of FAE Limited, Nigeria's largest envelope manufacturing company, boasts 40 years of hands-on experience. Recognized for her unique and resourceful approach, she was among the 3 awardees from Nigeria in the IWAC Foundation 2022 award. Under her leadership, FAE transitioned from a merchandising business to Nigeria's leading envelope manufacturer, achieving remarkable growth and industry dominance. Her responsibilities include strategic planning, performance monitoring, revenue growth, financial analysis, cost management, hiring strategies, stakeholder management, and staff performance systems. Notable achievements include a 50% profit increase in 2014, technological upgrades, revenue growth, and expanding FAE's distribution network to 70% across Nigeria. Layo transformed FAE into a force in the paper industry, specializing in envelope manufacturing and customization. FAE, under our direction, manufactures innovative security envelopes and radio frequency identification blocking RFID envelopes, the first of its kind in Nigeria. Beyond corporate success, Layo is actively involved in industry associations, serving in various leadership roles, such as National Council member of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Chairman of the Paper Pulp Printing and Publishing Group, and Board member of the Trade Promotion Board. Her membership and affiliations include the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria (MAN), Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry (LCCI), Institute of Directors (IOD), Chartered Institute of Professional Printers (CPON), and Women in Management, Business and Public Service (WINBIZ). As an alumni, she is associated with Nottingham University UK, the Nigerian Institute of Journalism, and Lagos Business School.
Wow. Okay. Last but not the least is Chief Mrs. Debbie Kiwa. Straight down. Representatives, thank you. Please be upstanding. Thank you.
An accomplished administrator with a robust educational background, holds a BA in English, a Master's in Public Administration MBA from Lagos State University, and a Master's in Marketing from St. Edward's University, USA. As an esteemed member of the Institute of Directors of Nigeria and a Fellow of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, FNIMN, Chief Giwa's versatile expertise spans various sectors, reflecting her adaptability. Her commitment to professional development is evident through her alumni status at the prestigious Lagos Business School OMP 31. Chigiwa's successful career has spanned roles in oil and gas, packaging, secure print, import and export. Notably, her tenure as General Manager Packaging at Triple G and Company PLC saw a significant increase in turnover. Her return to the company as an executive director resulted in a remarkable 149% increase in turnover within 6 months and substantial growth in profit after tax, leading to her election as managing director in 2019. Under her visionary leadership, Triple G experienced phenomenal growth, with turnover soaring from 742 million in 2018 to over 3 billion in 2023. Chigiwa's achievement earned her the Female Entrepreneur of Distinction 2023 award by News Direct newspapers. Triple G also garnered various local and international awards, including Africa's fastest growing influential leader in the corporate landscape.
Well, thank you very much. We celebrate excellence. Thank you. Very well. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Now let's go to making the presentations. So first on the list is Mrs. Patricia Mujora. Let's celebrate success. And I'm sure there's somebody sitting in the room and you're beginning to tell yourself that my profile was going to be red. What's going to be like? Thank you, ma'am. Yes, the chairperson. We ask for the chairperson and the keynote speaker to please make the presentation. Thank you.
I present to you this award for your accomplished career in the industry. We definitely believe that this is just the beginning. Many more to come. And I wish you all the best. Congrats.
Next, Mrs. Abiola Soni, please.
I have Mrs. Abiola standing very tall in our midst, as well as being granted an award for her impactful, very tall contribution and achievement. Well done.
Congratulations, ma'am. Next, Princess Fumilayo Bakari. Okay, who represented. Yes, please come.
Mrs. Sonny, I wish you can repeat the whisperings I just said now. Even though the representative is not the owner of the award. I just asked you, I said, were you the one I had? I said,
So don't you have men? Don't you have the award?
an award too. And to my chagrin, effect and eyes, I could see a man coming in. Even though you are representing, it makes the world round for all of us. Thank you very much for representing Mrs. Bakari. Okay, I wish her all the best. And I believe that you are promoting women, and you too will definitely be awarded next time around. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Last but not the least, gentlemen, a few gentlemen and ladies, we have the pleasure of inviting Chief Mrs. Adepinpe Giwa. Chief Mrs. Adepinpe Giwa. Yes. Wow, let's celebrate success. Thank you.
This is the award for Mrs. Adebisi Iman, who we are representing this afternoon. We wish her all the best and congratulations for receiving this award for her impactful deliberations. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together and celebrate the chairperson and our keynote speaker today. Thank you very much. We're gradually coming to the end of this program today. Thank you for your time with us. Just a few. We still have one major item. Would you please let's pull this out. We'll have the unveiling. That's the very last program on the agenda. Is to unveil the magazine. Unveil this magazine. This magazine has been told it's been on printed since we've had like over 104 editions. Yes, thank you. But this is a special edition dedicated to this conference and dedicated to inspiring people who will continue to inspire. Okay, so we're going to have that. Also, to just make a quick note to giving printing solution, we extend our apologies. We missed out something about you of the program, the booklet, so we apologize for that. Please accept the apologies. Now, I'm going to call on, where's Nora, representing the MD CEO of DCS, yes, and yes, I want you to come. We have the chairperson and the guests too, so that we can hear it. Yes. We have the one to unveil, and then the awardees are going to also join us, yes. So, it's a very special edition. Yes, the awardees, please. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you. All right, so this is the unveiling now, right? We just...
Have we read the commission this magazine? And we need strictly forward. May we find solutions for more and more women to be inspired in life. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Well, shall we put our hands together? Let's just celebrate this new birth. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The copy is 2,000 naira, I'm told. Yes, and somebody's going to go around and take them round. Yes, 2,000 naira. A copy, I'm told. Yes. All right, yes. Nora and team, thank you, man. Nora. Now, so around now, we take response from one of the awardees. We're going to take response from one of the awardees. Call on the Hajra. Okay, Hajra Ganias. And we want to take a response from her on behalf of the awardees and the entire event. And then we take a vote of thanks. Before we have the networking, the group photograph, and then, yes, and then we have a vote of thanks before we go have lunch. Yes. Right, yes. Just on with us. Yes. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Good afternoon, everybody. I would just like to stand on this script protocol and go straight to my
On behalf of myself and all the awardees, I would like to say a huge thank you to DSC for recognizing us. They've always celebrated the creative industry. They hold even the exhibitions that we participate in, annually, and I know that the print business is an industry that is very dear to them. They hold it very dear, and they're doing their very best to promote us, So I want to say thank you to the organizers. Thank you to everybody that's taken their time to be here. Thank you for the keynote speaker who spoke very much to all our hearts and experiences. It was just like I was hearing myself. Everything you said was resonating with me. It was just like I was hearing myself, and on the banging of the table issue, that's why I don't wear bangles. People say, if I wear a bangle at work one day, I'll bang the table and the table will fly off. So I don't bother to wear bangles. So I'd like to say very, big thank you again, and I'll leave it at that so I don't go on and on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's celebrate Nora. Nora is working very hard to put all of this together. Well done, Nora. Thank you. Yes.
Once again, good afternoon, everybody. A few minutes to the co-sponsor for this event, Brandville, to make a presentation at this event. After that, I will take the vote of thanks. Just a few minutes.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Cynthia Badri. I'm the Brand Development Executive at Brandville Prints and Promotions. So we have a little presentation to show you, just to tell you about what we do, our services. Please enjoy the video. So aside from things like the video showing you what we do, there's so much more. The video is just halfway through, but aside from this, I hope you are able to understand what Brand B is all about, what we do, the services that we render. So please just continue the video.
Thank you very much. All right, right about now, sorry, just not to miss out something. May I respectfully call on Mrs. Sani, you are the president of the... yeah? Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. I want you to please help us make this presentation to our dignified dignitaries who's been of tremendous blessing to us today. Yes. This goes to Chief Mrs. Maria Olateju Phillips, our chairperson. Yes. And then another one to the yes, thank you. Yes. We move this. Please can you help us move this? Thank you for the last time. Thank you. Just put it back.
Today is about inspired to inspire.
Yes.
To inspire. Our chairperson of the day came in and said she was not going to give us the welcome speech. But when she started talking, we were actually and we took a lot out of the speech. You are a very big inspiration, huge inspiration to us, the women in this room, and much more out of this room. I want to tell you, on behalf of everyone seated, that we're very proud of you. Thank you for going to school. Thank you for, against all odds, becoming the accountants that you became. Thank you for fighting for us all those years in the boardroom. Thank you for inspiring women to go into politics. Thank you for, because you didn't have to. You had a very comfortable upbringing. You did not need to share yourself with us. You did not need to give back to us. You could have gone to settle in one private island, enjoying and rocking. But you felt, as a true Nigerian and as a woman, there is so much to give back. Again, I say we're very proud of you. On behalf of DCS and everyone seated, I would like to give you this award. Certification of appreciation presented to Chief Mrs. Maria Olateju, chairperson at Inspire to Inspire. Please keep clapping. God bless you for us. May God keep you for us. We have so much to learn from you. And we are going to be mentoring a lot of us here. Yes. We will make sure we get in touch with you. Yes. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you please give us okay, can you please?
A quick one, please. I think when the presenter the award was talking, she clicked on a word that went into my spine, and she said, "You choose to give back." And that was what exactly I did. From the time I've known myself, I have always been a people's person, and I'm still one until today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. We celebrate you. Thank you very much. Right. Yes, your job isn't done. One more. So we give this one to our chief people.
Good afternoon again. For those of us that listened to Mrs. Uko during her presentation, you know that when she said something else, she mentioned 50. I don't know those of us that tried to calculate when she mentioned 50 initially, until she actually said, well, by the time she said the next one, 8 years ago at 60. just gave up. It cannot be true. You know, indeed, today is about inspiration. That's right. You know, I have goosebumps, and I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud of you, madam. I'm proud to be standing beside you because you sin, and you're still sin, and you're giving, and you keep giving in different ways. You know, the book that you've written is being sold worldwide, which means one way or the other, something very, very great is coming out of Nigeria. That's right. Through you. Please, a round of applause for her. I'm sure we're going to go and Google the book, and we pray to save up because it's going to be in dollars, I'm sure. Anyway, today, I think Anna actually already summarized what you spoke to us about. We've all noted them, and we pray that we will all put them to use, and you'll be proud of us too. On behalf of DCS, I would like to present this to you. You know, so I would like to present this certificate of appreciation to you. Thank you so very much for coming here today. Please, a round of applause. This is presented to Mrs. Equal guest speaker on personal discovery in leadership for women. Please keep clapping at Inspire to Inspire conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I guess I have to say thank you again. Like I always say, for me, my sweet spot is being with women. And really, when, you know, I tell myself, really seriously from the bottom of my heart, that I want to die empty. Yes. I mean, what's the point of gathering 30-something years of work and there's nobody to share it with? So that's why for me it's always a pleasure to be here, and thank you to DCS for putting this together. It's also heartwarming that the person at the helm of affairs of this is a man, and he's putting this together for women. So thank you very much to the DCS, and we pray that they continue to do things like this. I think for the younger women, when I saw the profile of the awardees, I said, wow, this is a place to be, and congratulations to the awardees. Thank you very much.
Ladies and the few gentlemen, thank you so very much. Let's quickly, we just want to recognize the presence of Princess Fumilare Bakare, who walked in, yes.
You're welcome and congratulations. Thank you. All right. Now we want to take some,
Photographs, please. We'll take photographs, we'll do it in batches quickly, and then we have lunch. That's it. You're giving. Okay, we just take the photographs. Thanks for a few minutes, and then okay, photographs. What's photographs?
We've gradually come to the end of this conference, Inspire to Inspire. And I would like to, on behalf of MD, CEO, DCS Integrated Media, and the entire team, appreciate everybody that is at this program. I want to appreciate all the awardees. I want to say congratulations. You have done well. We want to also say a special thank you to the co-sponsor for this event, Brandville Promotions. I want to also say a very big thank you to our partner, Redwood Consulting and their team for working with us for this program. I want to say a very big thank you also to every guest that have come here. You've made our day. We want to say a very big thank you to you. And I pray that as you return back to your destination, you return safely in Jesus' name. Please, I want everybody to give yourself a round of applause for being with us today. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you very much. So, right about now, what we do, we just take some photographs. May I have you, ma'am? Thank you, ma'am. The chairperson and the keynote speaker are going to be permanent features. They'll just stand there, we'll take the pictures and those. May we just have the awardees only, please? Thank you.
Inspiring.
Thank you for the music. That's what it is. Well done. Are you good?
Yes.
Good. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Well, Auntie,
Can we have this table, please?
yes, this table. Members of this table. Let's go. After that, we'll take the next table. It's going to be very quick. Thank you. Yes? Yes, we'll be there. Yes, thank you. So we can capture everyone in the room today. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time with us.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Can we have brother your table, please? Yes.
Table 3, please. That's the last table. How many people do we have on that table?
Two tables. Jiffy can.
This table can.
Jiffy can get.
Don't jump, please.
Please, let's quickly rush the table. Okay, yes, that table come.
Yes, please, let's join them. Yes? Can you join? Let that table. Don't worry. After this, our this and our guests will take.
That's fine.
It's okay. I think that's good. We have enough now. So you go with the next question.
Okay.
Next batch. Join that batch. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for making our day. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get set. Thank you.
All right, next please. Next, let's go.
Right. Yes. No, please, ma'am. We are still taking pictures, please. Please, we are not done yet. Thank you.
Easy.
Yes. Hello, sorry, excuse me, sorry.
Wait, picture time. Sorry.
You have a choice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can we have the
in the next 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Almost, yes, ma'am. Just. And after that, like 3 more. 3 more, please. Thank you. Don't, 3 more, don't worry. Where is the last? Where are members of the last table? I wanted to be unique. This was. They say, oh, we are unique. I'm a lapo. Thank Thank you. So the few more we have, the few more photographs we have, the awardees, excuse me, Chief, can you please come? She wants, please, I want to her. You know, she wants to have that picture. Yes. Yes, just the picture. Just the picture, and then awardees that came with friends. If you have any, I don't know. Yes, okay. Our dish will be our guest. That's the last thing.
The special edition for Inspire to Inspire is available for 2,000 naira. You can pay in cash or do a transfer. Somebody is behind there to provide it.